Welcome to the Indie Author Roadmap, the podcast for new and aspiring indie authors.
We're your hosts, Rachel and Rob, here to help guide you on your writing journey.
Join us each episode as we share tips, insights and practical advice to help you take the next steps towards becoming a successful indie author.
Whether you're working on your first book, navigating self-publishing, or looking to connect with fellow indie authors, this is the place for you.
So grab your notebook, settle in, and let's hit the road to your publishing dreams.
Because right in the end, it's just the beginning.
Welcome to episode 17 of Indie Author Roadmap. I am Rob Radcliffe, and the other one in the other pane is...
Rachel Morton, the amazing Rachel.
You did it again, every time.
What?
And then you say your name. People are going to start thinking that your name's Rachel Morton. It's no good. Right, so where have you been, Rachel, last week?
Ireland. You should tell me about your island first. I bet you drank about as much as I did.
Okay, so on my island trip, which has nothing to do with authory things, it was more to do with keeping the missus with me and reconnecting. We went to Galway. We love Galway, so we got a plane to Dublin, Manchester to Dublin, and then across country on the train. Takes about 2 hours. Got drunk on the train, and then ended up in Galway. I think this is the fourth time we've been now. We usually go in February, just after my birthday, but a bit later this year. And yeah, we're both pissed trying to find our hotel, which was fun. Dumped the stuff, and then yeah, we've just been on it, walking during the day, and just so. Well, I say walking during the day. It's more like let's go for a little ramble during the day, and if we just happen across a pub, then you know. Yeah. We might nip in, but it's good. And I thought we were coming back on St Paddy's Day, but we weren't. We did in fact come back the day after, which was lovely because we got to be in the Blackpool of Ireland. Yeah. On St Paddy's Day, and it was great. So we had a lovely time. And where did you go, Shan?
Shan? I'm not the one. Funny enough, I went to Shannon.
Yeah, funnily enough, yeah. That just shows how much I speak to the missus, yeah. Where did you go, Rachel? Spoiler alert.
I went to Shannon. I went to the Islands Publishing Show, which was really great, and why my throat sounds really crappy.
Right. Is that all we're having?
Yeah, that's all you're having. Yeah, and we were in a pub on St Paddy's Day. It was dead funny because it was a locals pub. And he's one of these backstreet locals pub. So we all walked into this pub and all the locals stared at us like this, like, what are you doing? And like, oh, you want the people in the back.
Yeah. Why is there more than 3 people in this pub?
Yeah, pretty much. It was like a bunch of old men sitting at the bar, and you know that they're there every single night.
Yeah.
And, they were just staring at us and what do you want? And then they heard the English accents. So it started with Monday night, St Paddy's Day, getting drunk and just was continuous drinking from there with some author chat in the middle. But it was a really good conference. It was, of all the conferences I've been to, and I love the conferences, this one had the best networking because there was only about 100 people there. And the hotel we were in, there was nowhere to go around it. You were literally going on the motorway, so everyone had to stay in the hotel. So when you came down for a drink, it was just a bar full of authors. You go and have something to eat, it was just a restaurant full of authors. So it was good.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah, it was, and a lot of people turned up on the Monday and stayed till the Friday. So it was like a full week of just authors, even though the conference was only the Wednesday, Thursday. There was a lot of really, we had some really great chatter. Yeah. And I made some really good friends. And a lot of people, I've had a few people asking about you, where you were.
Oh, tell me about that. Go more into detail about that.
I was like, he's already on holiday in Ireland. I'm like, it was just crappy timing, so you've got to come next year. And I had someone on the first night in the pub say that she listened to our show, so shout out to Connie and say hello. She was asking where you were.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, and then I had a couple of other people said they listened to the show, and it was really funny. What were we talking about? We were talking about someone asked the question, if you have multiple pen names, should you have 2 email lists for each pen name? And I was telling someone about how I have 2 MailerLite accounts for my 2 pen names. And then some random stranger, I had no idea it was, says, "Oh, that's because you sent your emails all to both of your lists by accident." I'm like, "Well, you've obviously listened to our show if you know that." So that was
Yeah,
really cool.
that's great. That I'm like, cheers. That was my punchline. But these people now know me. These random strangers now know what I'm going to say. That's great, isn't it?
Yeah, 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 exactly. But it was really cool because we've got, we're only little and starting out, but we've got listeners. So that was really
Yeah, it's
nice.
brilliant. And thank you all for listening.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it's fun for us having a chat and talking shit about writing because you don't really get to do it in day to day.
No,
But the fact that people want to actually listen to us chatting
I know.
about writing,
I just
it's
like
nice, man.
someone was telling me that they listened to our podcast, um, James Blatch and Cara Claire's podcast, and then the other one is it Brave New Bookshelf, and every week they listen to all 3 new episodes. I'm like, that's awesome.
Oh, that's great. So tell me more. Tell me people you met
Yeah,
and
so
stuff.
I met loads. So there's a lady I know before called Kelly, Kelly Curtis, who I've met. She writes as Olympia Black. She's got some cool books. And then I met Celeste Barkley, and we were chatting to her. Kind of felt like a couple of naughty schoolgirls at the back of the talks.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then the likes of Steve Higgs was there, James Blatch was there,
Yeah.
Tony Lee was there, if you know him.
No, but I've seen. Even though it said for attendees only, the Facebook group, I joined it anyway just to have a nosy and sulk a bit, like looking through the pictures. Some great pictures. Look like a
Did they let
really
you
good
in?
time. Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Yeah, because they asked me about it, and I said, "Oh yeah, he's just my co-host, but he couldn't make it." So then I said, "This
Right.
one will let you
Okay.
in."
Yeah. Yeah. I was just spying on you all, just because I wanted to sit. I wanted to sulk, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it was Adam. Adam did a talk.
Yeah,
Steve
I actually watched this talk. It was on that group. That's another thing I wanted to see. I wanted to see a few of the talks, and I watched this.
Steve Aitchison did a talk. He was really good. I don't know if you know him. He's a really good author.
Yeah,
There's loads of good talks, but the networking was amazing because everyone
yeah,
was just talking, and lots of people were learning different things. And it was
yeah.
organised by Siobhan and her daughter Jade, and they did amazing.
Yeah. I'm definitely going to be going next year, most definitely.
Yeah. And they want to keep it to about 150. And
Right.
because you're all staying in the hotel where the conference is, there's just no need to go anywhere. The only
Wasn't
downside is
the
the
wasn't
aircon
the one
goes
last
to
year?
people's throats, huh?
Wasn't the one last year that was in Dublin, or was that a different thing?
I think it was the same. It was called the Sustainability Conference.
That's right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Was it the same people organised, or was it
It's the
just
same
happened?
people, but I think it's just grown to this. So they're already talking. They're going to announce the dates for. They're
Right.
now calling it the IPS 26.
Cool. Awesome. Right.
So I was
So,
umming and ahhing about London, but after going to this, I'm like, no, I need to go to London now because catch up with lots of people because it was just so good.
yeah, but the London one's a different format this year, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
It sort of feels like after last year's and like obviously the past 4 years. Yeah, first one was 2020, wasn't it? This because of like the different format and stuff. It seems like it's petering out. Maybe I don't know
yeah.
because
I don't know. I think it's because the location is just charging them so much,
yeah, it's central London.
making it stupid money.
They should do it in Manchester
Yeah.
or,
Look, or
or another.
outside London, we were talking about this because obviously we were sitting with James for dinner and like just do it somewhere outside of London that's accessible to people.
Yeah.
As long as you can get
Or,
there on a train.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The prices are the prices are stupid. It cost me nearly £700 for the hotel last year, and then it
Well,
was like
that's the thing. I mean, like last year's conference, my hotel was cheap. I mean, it was just me, and I knew I'd be in London, or the only time I'd be not out and about would be to get my head down, and so I got a really cheap little hotel, but it was a mission. Where was it now? It was about 5 or 6 stops from Westminster,
yeah,
So that going back and forward, it's like half an hour to an hour each time, and I
Yeah.
felt next time I'll probably pay more and just be central,
Well,
regardless.
that was it. I was in a Premier Inn and it was walkable. It was like
Yeah,
a 10-minute walk, if that. And but it was a bit more expensive. But I'd say it probably cost a good part of probably over 1,000 last year, and then you've got your food and drink on top. So it gets
yeah,
quite
yeah.
pricey because it's just London prices.
Yeah, London prices, good old. Although the beer wasn't too bad. It was usually about six quid, and that's you're out on the Thames on a glorious day, and you're thinking, yeah, they could probably charge a tenner, and it'd still be just as busy. But
Yeah.
the beer wasn't too badly priced. Or maybe I'm just drinking in the wrong places
You
up
were
here.
drinking in the wrong places. Mine were like £8 a pint. Maybe you're just drinking crappy beer.
Yeah, no, it was like the first beer I had when I was there.
The
I was
equivalent
meeting
of Harley.
Henrik, and I was waiting for him, and it was just across the bridge, the Walkie Bridge in Westminster, uh, where all the Arts Conference Centre bit is, and there's just like a little pop up bar, and yeah, it was 6 quid a beer. Great.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah.
Oh, bloody Adam was talking about Henry. Sorry, Henry reminded me of Adam because they both got the lit RPGs. Adam was talking to me about writing a lit RPG and how we need to get on this because in 5 years, if we don't, we'll regret it. And so he's talking to me about it, and I'm like, I play World of Warcraft, and he's like, ha, got you. I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh, shit, I do not need any more book ideas."
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, a new series, but lit RPG became it became popular with Ready Player One, didn't it?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah,
that seems to be like the everyone seems to be writing it at the moment now.
yeah,
But they're
yeah.
usually quite big books as well, though, aren't they?
They are, yeah, yeah. But
I mean,
it was a good
Henrik's.
chat.
I formatted the first one of Henrik's before he got Vellum. I need to stop telling people whose books I'm formatting what I'm using because every time I do, they think, right, well, I'm paying him this, and he's Vellum only costs this, so I might as well just pay him this one and then buy. I need to stop doing it. I need to
Yeah,
say it's like magic dust or something. It's
yeah,
something that you can't touch. It's magic dust that I've got, and I can't sell it. I'm afraid. So you just have to keep coming to me for your formatting. I'll do that next time.
yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I formatted his books, and they're massive. They're proper like big.
Yeah, I've seen his book on TikTok when he's holding it. It looks
Yeah,
like a brick.
proper door stoppers, man.
Yeah.
But talking of books, what we're going to speak about today, right?
First chapters.
Go on then.
You told me about first chapters. I'll put you on the spot.
Well, I mean,
I've actually got notes.
one thing about first chat, generally speaking, I usually lead with them when writing a book. I think that I think that works really well. And I've done it in each book actually. I'll always have my first chapter right at the beginning of the story, and
Really? Not the end.
I haven't had any complaints yet, so I'm going to continue doing that. What do you have to add?
I've got some things here, right, and we'll go through them. So we've got why the first chapter is so important, obviously because it starts the book.
Yeah.
Mistakes, common mistakes that stop readers from reading. And the importance of hooking readers on the first paragraph, and then what your first chapter must accomplish.
So what you do now, you're reading a list out to me. I don't know why.
Because
What?
these are the things I'm going to make you talk about.
But you've got the cheat sheet. Why do I have to talk about it? You fucking know what to say.
Because you're a co-host, so you have to co-host.
Right, what was the first one?
Right, why the first chapter is critical, apart from obviously it starts the book. That's not a good answer.
It's where you introduce it's the introduction, isn't it? Basically, it's the tone you want to set in the book. I mean, there's a few ways of doing the first chapter. You can do it right in the middle of the. You can sort of do it as.
The question really is why is getting your first chapter right so important? Because that is the one. When people pick up your book in the bookstore, they'll look at the cover, they'll open it, and they look at the first chapter.
I was going to say that, and you just because you've got the fucking cheat sheet, you just I'll read it now. He's waffling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next.
No,
I
come
don't
on.
understand this. I don't understand what we're doing. It. Go on.
No, no, because why is it so important to get it right?
It's so important to get it right because, like, I was rudely interrupted, and I'm going to repeat what she just said because I was going to say it anyway. It's the bit that people will read in a bookshop, or it's the 10% on Amazon that you can. It's the sample bit. It's the bit that's going to hook your readers and think, yeah, I want a bit more of this, and then they'll buy the book, and then you've got a reader.
Yeah. See, well done.
What
You see,
else? What other? I'm going to turn it on you now. Fucking cheat sheet. Fucking. Anyway, yeah. So what else? What other reasons, Rachel?
that's it on that one.
Eh?
That's it on that one. Well, it establishes genre, point of view, tone, style of writing, voice. So he gets the reader's expectations of what the book is.
Are
Whether
you
they...
sure this is like an episode length thing? Because
Yeah.
we've done it now. That's
No, we haven't. No, we haven't. Right.
all right.
Mistakes that writers could make that would put readers off reading. So you got your person in the bookshop or on Amazon and looking at the first chapter. What mistakes would make them not buy it?
Well, I can answer this because I've done it. Having too many swears in the first chapter of especially, well, it depends. I mean, if it's first chapter book 4 in a series, it's a different animal to the first chapter book 1 in the series. For instance, with Meat Market, I had a lot of in the first chapter he's being broken up with. Little did I know. So there was loads and loads of swearing because that's what you do in your head, and it's in first person, and there was too much, and I had to take a lot out just because it offends people, and these people might love the book, but right there at the having given them everything at once, it's a bit too much, and you can turn people off like that.
I
On a
once read,
side
though,
note, eh?
I was going to about the swearing. I read a rule though that if you're going to have swearing in your book, make sure you've got a couple of swear words in the first page, so that readers expect it. Or
Yeah, and no, I
not
mean,
surprised by it.
yeah, I didn't take every one of them out. I just, it's more impactful. Less is more. It's more
Yeah.
impactful when, but at the same time, in dialogue, people swear a lot, and it depends what sort of character, blah, blah, blah. So, there is different things like that you have to take into consideration. But on a side note from that first chapter in book 1, in book 4, the C word is in the first chapter 8 times. But by this time, you've read all 3 of the previous. You know what you're getting now, and it was a new character who'd been a side character before who swore a lot. So you have to remain faithful to your characters as well. Yeah. What was the question?
Mistakes in the first chapter that put readers
Yeah,
off.
not too many swears. Less is more.
Yeah.
Oh, you want something else?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I can
All
give
right.
you one. Sorry, what's it?
What was that?
That was my phone.
What was it?
It's the Minions do Harry Potter.
And that's what you're about, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm the one that posted a "How many days till Christmas" meme.
Yeah. That was annoying this morning. Just in case anyone's aware, there's less. I'm not going to work it out. There's less than 275 days until Christmas.
Yeah.
I woke up to a post authored by Rachel Morton this morning saying that all happy and fucking giddy. It shows that you've got grown-up kids. It really does.
No, because what they want is bigger, and I've got grandkids, so it costs me a fortune. But I love
It's
Christmas.
different. It's a different kind of Christmas, I imagine, when it's grandkids.
Yeah, because you spend more.
Yeah, most probably.
Yeah.
But go on.
But
Right, what was
I
that?
just love Christmas anyway. So one of the mistakes is what puts me off reading is if someone does like an info dump at the beginning. because it's so boring.
Yeah. Say all that again.
Is it all about the mistakes
Right,
in the
you're doing it again. You did this last time. You're saying it louder. I just didn't hear a little bit. I can hear how it's not because you're being quiet. You just need to say it again. Same tone as because I'm not editing it out again now because of this. But I would have edited it out. And the second time you do it, you always shout it as if that's not the problem. I've missed 2 words off the beginning and I
Why?
haven't caught
Oh,
up. So
I
say it again.
I thought you'd not heard me. So I can't remember now the question was mistakes in first chapters, and I was saying I hate info dumps right at the beginning because they're really boring.
Yeah,
And you shouldn't
definitely.
do it because
Yeah.
that stuff should be spread out through the story.
Yeah, and also if like it was a dark and stormy night bullshit,
That's how I
and
set all mine up.
hey,
That's how I start all of mine.
oh, that's nice. Me personally, if you know, just if you're going to spend the first chapter describing the scene too much instead of jumping into what the fuck's happening, just take it all out because that's just fodder. People want to get into. You know, if you're gonna try and hook a reader with that first chapter, you need to there needs to be a hook and describing too much place and how many rusty tiles the house that the person's approaching has got on the roof. It's just bullshit that you need to get rid of and just get into the point of it, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other mistakes, because I've made notes here, is the over explaining rather than showing, which I think is what you just mentioned. And then starting with a dream or a weather description.
I've done a dream. Well, it's sort of a dream, but it's not. And it's not. Yeah, it works well. There was a thought out reason because I agree. You know, starting for a dream and then the wake up. That's just you might as well just put. I woke up and opened my eyes. Yeah,
Yeah.
and why not a weather description? What have you got against the weather? What if it's a nice day
You just
and not a
told me
dark?
not to write that it was a dark and stormy night. Is that not
Yeah,
weather?
no, a dark and stormy night. But what if
Well,
it's
now
a
it's going
lovely
to be a.
summer's day? Everyone loves a nice summer's day. Why
It
can't
was
you
a.
do that?
It was a bright summer Tuesday when I murdered my neighbour.
Well,
Well,
not a
bring down my
Tuesday. No
next.
one likes a Tuesday, Rachel.
That's why there was murder. That's how I'm going to start my next
A
story.
bank holiday Monday, a nice and sunny bank holiday Monday.
There's never a nice and sunny bank holiday Monday. Those two don't go together.
A potentially nice and sunny. You could be dreaming about it.
You can't at the beginning of your book, though.
So you could be dreaming. So if you can't have weather or dreams, what if you're dreaming about weather?
Well, maybe, yeah.
Is that a double no-no, or does that
Yeah, I
work?
think it is.
I
Dreaming
haven't
about
got
weather.
the rule sheet. I don't know.
No.
You've got
Well, then
you've
you,
got
then
the
you have
cheat
to
sheet.
overdo it to really ruin it. And then the
Right.
next one that I've written down is putting too many characters in the first chapter.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, because you need to ease the reader in. If you've got Jake and Peter and Paul and they're all talking and it's just going to be too much, isn't it?
Could you imagine if George R.R. Martin put all his characters in the first chapter? There'd be no room for any other words.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it'd just be a list of characters, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the other one off that, which I haven't written down, I've just thought of, is not introducing your main character in the first few pages. Unless on purpose, of course.
I write in first person predominantly, so that's not if I'm not, then there's something wrong with the book.
I have read a book, I can't remember what it was now, and it was like the first 3 chapters didn't have the main character in it, so by the time you got to the end of the 3 chapters, you invested whoever we were with, and then they swapped characters, and you were like, that's... And it kind of like really threw me out, but I can't remember what book it was.
So like the first after the first 3 chapters, you really invested in the dream about the weather they're having, and
Yeah,
then this
exactly.
bloke pops up.
In fact, Stephen King did it in, oh my gosh, I don't know what it's called now. The Institute. Have you read The Institute?
The Institute.
Yeah, by Stephen King. Have you read that one?
No, I've not read
He
that one.
starts out, he must do about 20 chapters of this character called Jake. So you think the story is about this character, and then suddenly it switches to this kid being kidnapped, and the rest of the book is about the kid. And it takes you a real good moment to like switch, because you're like, why have I just read all this about this night knocker that he calls him, and then jump to a kid?
Does it come back to the reason?
Right at the end of the book, yeah, it does. It makes sense, but it really throws you. And it really, I was like, where's this guy that I've just invested so much time reading about?
What
You
was I
also
going
have
to
to
say?
try and get your villain or your antagonist in the beginning as well, some way. Because if you just throw a bad guy in, or even if your antagonist is like the weather, and you throw it in halfway through the book, it's a little bit weird.
I see that now. I mean, that depends again. I mean, if you're in first person, you can't because
No,
you haven't.
but it depends what your antagonist is, but they need to be pretty close. It might not be first chapter, but definitely close to the beginning.
Yeah, well, there needs to be some sort of mention or inkling towards them.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, in my Divine series, I haven't mentioned the big bad yet, and I'm 5 books, and I know the fifth book doesn't have him in either.
yeah,
So I should really start introducing this person. Yeah.
yeah.
Anything else?
No, that's it for mistakes. You any other mistakes?
I don't. I don't. I keep looking at it, but I want to pick a book up now and just read the first chapter.
I'd say not having anything happen. I was it was when Craig Martell did a shout out for short stories to go in an anthology, and he was like, "You have to have something happen with the first 500 words, or you just won't get in."
Yeah,
So it was a real good um, skill trainer to submit for that, because you had to, without making it like a description, you had to make it concise and have the inciting incident kind of thing right at the start.
yeah,
So I think not
yeah.
having anything happen is the first chapter. The first chapter is just whatever.
Do you? I mean, I know you've got a crazy way of writing, but like when you write your first chapter, how much of the story do you usually know? What do you know what's coming next, or are you discovering it when as you go?
I usually know the first few scenes in my head.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's a bit different at the moment because I'm writing Find Me, which is the second book to go with Jigsaw Girl. So the first chapter in that is because it's crime, it's completely different. I start with the crime and then I switch characters. So I literally break all the rules.
right. But so you when you're writing it, you have it from the point of view of the killer and the point of view of the
Yeah, so the
detective.
first chapter is always the crime, whether it's from the witness someone else finding the body, or the crime actually happened. In this book it's going to be, because the book is about a little girl who is basically taken and kidnapped,
Yeah,
and so it's going to be from her point of view up to the moment she's kidnapped, and that's chapter one. And then
yeah.
chapter two switches, and we are in the normal everyday life of my detective.
Yeah. Have you ever read The Lovely Bones or seen the film? I
Yes.
guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, having that and the point of view of the actual victim, I love that. I love that, and I'd love to do something like that.
Because she's a
When I,
ghost, isn't she?
yeah, yeah, and I just thought that was really, but it doesn't feel like it's paranormal or anything.
No.
The book, it just has that one element which I thought was really good in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
So you can't break the rules, but you've got to do it on purpose, not just because you're being lazy. It's got to be
yeah.
you've got to do it as a tool.
And when you're writing your crime books. I mean, you've got what's he called, Alex Rogan.
Alex Rogan, yeah.
Alex Rogan, your guy, your head honcho, who you've just given the worst life to. I feel so
Yeah.
sorry for him. But when you're writing from the killer's point of view, do you find that more fun? I always find it more fun.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
no, I've not written for the killer. I have written random chapters from the killer's point of view in between.
right,
But Jigsaw Girl started with someone finding the body,
right.
and then this second book's going to start with the little girl. Because if he started with the person that did it, he's going to give away who did it.
Yeah.
I couldn't figure a way of doing, because the reason why he's taken her would be in his head, and then you would
Yeah.
know. You would
It puts
know.
it all up front and it ruins it then, doesn't it?
Yeah. So with it being the little girl whose head we're in, it's not going to reveal the kidnapper.
Yeah. So I've started going into crime a little bit, and it's called at the moment it's called Diary of a Serial Killer, and I think I mentioned it before, and it's just dead fun because you've it's the baddie's point of view, and this person is now it's the anti-hero, I guess, because
Yeah.
they're the main character. And I was chatting to a listener of the show, Mike, and he's an ex police officer soon. He will be an ex police officer actually by the time this goes out, and he wanted to read the chapters because I wasn't sure if I was going to add like the police element to it, and I suppose it'd make it, but with it being from first person, I'm not sure how much of that would play into it because I don't want this character to obviously get caught. But yeah, he read the first 3 or 4 chapters or something. He keeps texting me asking, "Have you written any more?" I'm like, "No, I've got 3 other books I need to write
Yeah.
before I concentrate on that."
I
But it is
forgot.
quite fun there because I love crime, watching crime stuff and that, and I always get ideas, don't you?
I forgot that he's a policeman, and he did message me and said if I needed any help with police
Yeah.
procedures, so I should bug him and annoy him. So you're gonna have messages coming, Mike.
Yeah, it's nice to have someone like that actually knows the thing
Yeah.
instead of relying on Google because they've lived it and stuff.
Yeah, there is
Uh,
like cops and writers Facebook group.
is there? Right. Okay.
Yeah, but I think it's
See,
run by an American ex-cop. But there
right.
are English guys in there, so
Yeah.
'cause it's different
See,
laws and different things.
yeah. You've got your sources.
Yeah,
Because one thing that I was talking about in I think it's the third chapter, uh, she's getting away. She's super paranoid and about being caught, so she goes ridiculous lengths to cover her tracks. And it's the victim's mobile phone. She'd left it before taking the victim onwards, and then she went to pick it up. And something that Mike mentioned was it's not GPS. They're not going to know it's right there, kind of thing. It's it's more the triangulation of like the towers that it's connected, which I should know really from watching Line of Duty. But
yeah.
yeah, I didn't think at the time when I was writing it. Yeah, but no, that will not be a fourth pen name either for now.
Do you know there was someone at the conference that had 10 pen names?
10 pen
10
names.
pen names? So I'm
With a
like,
grey.
mine's nothing. Huh?
With a grey. Just the idea. I mean, could you imagine? How many books did they have for me? Did they just write every genre or something? Or what?
Yeah, she just likes lots of genres.
Right, 10 pen. Could you imagine doing 10 newsletters and doing 10 of everything?
Yeah.
Having 10 lots of different ads oh, fuck that.
You know, there were some really interesting conversations. There's a book I need to send you that you need to have a look at because it looks so fun to read.
What is
The
it?
author was great. It's called Teddy.
What's it about?
A sex, a teddy bear shifter.
A teddy bear shifter.
Teddy bear shifter.
You see, I thought when Teddy, and I'm thinking straight away, I'm getting pictures in my mind. I was thinking, oh, it'd be a teddy bear, and it would be like either like a paedophile book or something like that, but a teddy bear shifter,
I was speaking to the author at the
like
bar.
Toy Story. What? Eh?
No, no, I asked her, and she was telling me all about it. It's one of those. It sounds really weird, but like really cool. That it's like you've just got to go and read it. And it was really funny to watch the two men kind of squirming as she was telling us about it, because it's a witch with magic that is really wonky. So she's like says someone, oh, drop dead, and they die, and she's Yeah, she has a shifting teddy bear sex toy. I'm gonna send it you.
Have you read it?
No, but we were chatting about it and stuff.
So you're going to send it, but you're not going to even read it yourself. You're just going to go,
No, it's one of those ones you're like, I've got to read it because it sounds really. I've never heard of this genre of books before.
right.
And she was listing loads of them. I'm like, wow.
Okay, so I feel, I mean, I'm not sure if this is right, and I feel like at some point in the future you're gonna add like a segue into our show where you send me all these weird fucking books, and then we do like a little book club, and then you ask, laughing, because that's what you'll be doing. What do you think of that one, Rob?
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, what the fuck, man? Stop sending me this shit. This is harassment now.
No, it's not shit because it's like her best-selling book and stuff. Like,
I'm
I
selling
didn't,
books. There's
I
people
didn't,
like, yeah,
I
this is
didn't
what I need
realize
in my life.
it was definitely an eye-opening conversation about this style of books. I can't even describe. There was one. I was like octopus porn book.
Octopus porn, yeah.
Yeah,
Teddy bear shifters in octopus porn.
yeah. This is what you were missing at the conference, but it was such a good chat, and actually listening to it. I'm completely killing the book, but listening to her talk about the book was so great.
And do you know what's mental? They've probably paid for the house off these books.
Yeah, yeah. People read them.
At what point, though, as a reader, because we're all readers before writers, at what point do you go, I can't be doing with that. I can't be doing that new John Grisham. I wonder if they've got any octopus porn out. Where do you make that leap? Do you know what I mean? It's like,
I've
well,
got a book somewhere. I'll have to dig it out. I think it's Uniporn. Yeah, I've never read it. I got sent it, which is basically unicorn porn.
yeah. And I thought fucking Barman was edgy. Jesus Christ.
No, no. Your barman is just like
Nothing.
it's a Mr. Man book in the adult world.
Like teddy bears, isn't it? Without the shifting.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
it's
send you
Mr.
the
Man.
link. I'm gonna send you the link, and you need to have a look at this book because she's a really lovely author. And
Yeah.
yeah,
What's she called? Shout out.
Christina.
Christina. Okay.
Yeah.
I shall try your things.
It was just really funny watching the guy squirm at the words she was using because obviously she's an erotica writer.
Yeah, all these guys who are doing like Jack Reacher style and all the rest of it, and you start talking about octopus porn and teddy bears with hard-ons. Let's
Yeah.
have it right. And they want to add something to the conversation, but they have nothing. There's nothing, and they've got a full beer too, so they can't even like go, oh, bar time. Brilliant.
Yeah. So, are you coming next year for this kind of chatter?
Oh, definitely, absolutely. In fact, I'd love to. I saw that James and Cara did a live show.
Yeah.
I'd love to do something like that. That'd be fun as well.
Yeah. You emailed Siobhan. She probably was,
Yeah.
chat to her about. I'm on that live podcast because they asked me a question and then he put the camera in my face.
You're like that.
I was. He was laughing that I was running away from him.
Yeah, that'd be cool to do something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would definitely be going to the Ireland one.
It's,
I'm not, I'm not sure about London. I just don't like the. It's not the conference. It's the meetups. Everyone's going to go their own little ways, and it just doesn't feel like. Do you know what I mean?
That's what was special about Ireland is you couldn't go anywhere.
Yeah, you're kind
You
of
were,
like a closed audience.
yeah, you
But the
were.
bar fucking loved you all.
Yeah, no, because the bar shut one night, shut at 10:30, and we were all like, we want a
At
drink.
10:30.
Yeah, and they're like, no, it's closed. I'm like, room service. They're like, no, and he's like, well, I guess we'll go to bed then.
And it's that, but we're in Ireland. What do you mean?
Yeah, yeah.
What?
And then he shut at 11 because on the Monday we were at the pub and then we all came back and the bar shut at 11. They wouldn't serve us any drinks. And it's like, it's 20 people. There was like 20 authors there. Like, we want a drink.
Yeah, especially hotel bars. You think they'd just be
I would have
open.
thought that they would have for residents, they'd been open. I mean, it was a
Yeah,
lovely hotel, but if you go there, get your 10:30, get your drinks in for the next couple of hours.
yeah. And I bet they'd frown if you brought like a six pack, not a six pack. We're not in America. Like a little case or something, and you just
Yeah.
cracking. No, no, you can't. You know, it's bedtime. It's bedtime now. It's half past. It's bedtime. It's 10:30. What you doing? Yeah,
Yeah.
brilliant. But we're in Ireland. Yeah, yeah. We sup all day and then we go to bed.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
mental.
Yeah. It was actually funny
Yeah.
on the Friday when we coming home, it was at the airport and they'd shut the coffee shop, so the only place to get a drink was the bar, and I was like, I really can't drink
That's
anymore.
fucked. That right. So right, the coffee shop's now shut, but you can drink now.
I could drink a
But
beer. This was at the airport, yeah, and I'm like,
yeah,
but now what a coffee. I can't stand any more alcohol. So I paid €4 for a bottle of water and was very annoyed about it.
yeah. Coffee shop's shut now. Well, you see, this is why we say go to bed at 10:30.
Yeah,
So, it's,
that
so
that
you're not
was
feeling like this tomorrow.
that wasn't even late. That was 5 o'clock in the evening. I couldn't get a coffee.
Mental. So basically, they make you drink, but on their terms.
Yeah, pretty much.
We didn't have that in Galway. Everything was always open. It was lovely. But I believe on Good Friday or something like that, all the pubs are shut in Ireland.
Really?
There's one particular day which is mental, whereas in Britain it's like hey long weekend. In Ireland it's completely different. It's like no, we have to be a goddy now and
Yeah.
not drink.
Yeah.
How's the weather? I've seen a few pictures. Obviously he ran 12 miles every morning. I'm guessing. So
It was all right.
yeah,
The weather was nice actually. It didn't rain until we were at the airport, which by then you don't care.
yeah. No, that's good.
Not that we went anywhere.
No. So it was, yeah. So I mean, like with the London conference, you're in the middle of it, aren't you? You're literally in this on the Thames, and you're in the centre of everything. But with this one, it
Yeah.
sounds like it's a plot to. If there was a serial killer in the mist, this is where they'd want to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's just a really big, nice hotel
yeah.
in the middle of nowhere.
So the conference was in the hotel as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're forced to stay in that hotel,
Yeah,
aren't you?
there was literally no reason to leave the hotel. Well, you get the taxi from the airport, and the conference provided lunches. It provided on the evening of the second day there was a 3-course meal that was part of the conference. That was really cool.
Yeah.
And then it's got a restaurant and a bar in there for all the other times. So there's no reason to leave the hotel at all, unless
So
you want
did
to
you
do.
not go into Shannon, into this, into the town?
I did because we hired a car,
Yeah.
but you didn't have to. We
Yeah.
hired a car because we were staying there a bit on the other side of the thing. We knew we'd want to go places.
Yeah, yeah. Have a mooch.
Yeah, but you didn't need to hire a car because you could just get an Uber to the hotel, stay for the whole conference, and get an Uber back to the airport.
It seems like a bit of a waste, that though, doesn't it? Especially people like coming from America. I assume there's people coming from all over for these conferences.
Yeah, there was Americans, plenty of Americans there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm definitely going to come definitely come next year. I think.
Yeah, but it was nice because you're just in a bubble of
Yeah.
fellow weirdos.
Awesome. And then back on topic. Anything more to add to the tiny little bit that we did about first chapters?
Oh, we did all right now because the next one is the importance of hooking readers in the first few paragraphs.
So that's even more granular.
So I've written notes like capture their curiosity and their emotional engagement.
Is this a new episode, or are you just going to run through it now?
No, this is what we're supposed to talk about, but I made notes, so like prompt you.
Okay, go on, do it again.
So we've got the immediate connection, so capture the curiosity or the emotional engagement right at the start. Give a sense of mystery, make the reader ask questions that they want to know the answers to, so they keep reading.
Yeah,
And also strong voice, so showcase the personality or unique narrative style, which works actually, especially in first person, because you can put them straight into the voice of the character they're going to read. I think that's where that works better.
Yeah, definitely. When that first chapter, especially if you write in first person, you need you need to grab the reader because they're going to be behind the eyes of this character with you, so they need to like them or have something. There needs to be something about them that piques their interest. Let's say,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
One of my favourite first lines was a first person one, and was something like, the day I died started off bad and just got worse from there.
Yeah,
And I'm like, that just hits everything. It's like, well, why are you dead? Why are you still talking? And it gives you that kind of like sassy personality straight away.
yeah. I've literally done the same thing for this resurrection book. I can't remember what's it. 2 seconds. I'm gonna actually read it out. The day I died 3 times, I thought I'd never see him again. That's my first chapter. The day I died 3 times, I thought I'd never see him again. That's the opening line.
But it also says the genre as well, I think, in the first few paragraphs, because if you know someone's died 3 times, it's probably not going to be an espionage story.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then it goes because I had a different chapter that was originally the first chapter, and I'm like, nah, I need to. It's going to be too confusing. I need to some of the stuff that they can do. So I need to kind of like that will hook them, and then blah 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 blah. I'll talk about the weather for the next 2000.
And the dream.
Yeah, I'll talk about the weather, and then end the chapter with, and then I woke up. Job done. Job done.
Yeah. It's going to come out the shower.
Yeah.
It was that. It was Dallas, that wasn't it? Come out the shower and it was all a dream.
Yeah, oh God, I hate that. Do you know what? And this is one thing that have we talked about this? Or have I just ranted to myself about it? We might have done. This is one thing. Remember Lost?
Yeah.
Yeah, the biggest. It was the biggest show ever when it was on, and it's about a plane that crashes on an island, and it's a bit weird. And I said the first episode, loved it, loved all the characters, the ensemble cast, all the rest of it. It's going to be brilliant. I'm going to watch it forever. First episode at the end, I said they better not be fucking dead. And this was 24 episodes of fucking a series back when they used to do that, one every Sunday night for 6 years, and then right at the end, yeah, they were dead. So what was the point in all the time travel in in series 5? What was the point in this? What was the point in that? None of it. It was completely irrelevant. The whole thing was irrelevant.
So I've never watched that series. Not that I'm ever going to anyway, because
Well, they're all dead.
they're all dead. So
After all that,
is it
all
a
those
dream
fucking subplots, all these bits where it's ending, it doesn't matter because they're just all dead.
So is it a dream, or is it like Sixth Sense kind of dead that they don't know they're dead?
No, it's like it's purgatory. So it's
Right,
before
okay.
they go off into the fucking light. Oh, what a waste of 6 years.
I'm watching at the moment From, which is by the same writer as Lost.
Right.
It's
Well, I
scared.
tell you what I loved. They did something called, and they only did one series because everything gets cancelled now. It was called Alcatraz, and it had Sam Neill in it,
Oh,
and that was
that. Yeah.
it was dead good, and
Yeah.
it was.
Because they were like ghosts or something, weren't they? They came back.
Well, we never found out what was happening, and it did feel very like losty. So
Yeah.
it's present day, and these cops, someone's been murdered or something, and these cops are tracking this guy, and it turns out that he was inmate in Alcatraz, but he's how he was as an inmate, like his mid-30s, say.
Yeah, they've not
And
aged.
and the opening, and then more of these inmates keep turning up, and the opening bit is in 1963, blah blah blah, 150 Alcatraz shut, and 153 inmates went missing. That's not what happened. I'm paraphrased. I can't remember.
Yeah.
And they're arriving to the present now, and there's loads of flashbacks to back in Alcatraz in the 60s or whatever. And then the big bad, or the guy who is Sam Neill, who you don't really know what his motives are. He was like a young lad as a prison guard back there. It's brilliant. Oh, I loved it. And then they fucking cancel it because they're all arseholes.
Yeah.
And they left it on a cliffhanger as well. Series 1, just to ruin my life, Rachel.
Yeah. Well, I'm watching From at the moment, and I'm hoping they're not going to ruin that because I'm on the third season. Have you seen From?
From?
From. It's called From. It's
No.
basically there's this family. They're in like a motorhome or an RV if you're in America, and they spot this tree that's like falling down the road. So they turn around and go into, like you get these hick towns in America.
Yeah.
They go into that and they ask for directions, and the people are all staring at them dead weird and like, just carry on down that road. And so they carry on down that road and they just keep coming around the same place. And then they're like, did we turn off? Did we get lost? And they do this for ages until we're like just going in this same loop.
So it's like a loop.
Yeah. When anyone sees that tree, they end up in this town, and then the residents basically take them prisoner and lock them up in the house, and they think that the town is just a bunch of bloody serial killers or whatever, but actually what they're doing is they're keeping them safe because you can't go out after dark
Ah, right.
because there's like monsters that literally rip them to pieces.
So how'd you get there was this film called with John Cusack in it and Ray Liotta, and it was called Identity, and
Oh,
there were
where
all
is it?
these
Yeah, where it's all these personalities.
yeah, and there were all these people, and they were the same thing. They were kind of stuck at this very American motel,
Yeah.
and they couldn't, and it was pissing it down, so they're stuck there for the night. And then people start getting murdered and stuff, and there's cops there, and they're trying to figure out what this is and who's doing what and all the rest of it. And one of them tries to get away from the place, and they end up back at the place. And it turns out this is just all personalities of this one guy
Yeah.
kind of fighting each other off. Oh, I love that. I love the twist at the end. It was
It
brilliant.
was. It was very cool with his last personality.
And then what one of the personalities is like a little serial killer kid, and
Yeah.
right at the end, he's that's the one that's taken hold. He's good, that film.
Yeah. It was very good.
Yeah,
But From is on series 3, so it might not get canned. So, but it's written by the people who did Lost. So I'm like, it's gonna go weird because they can't get out of this town.
yeah,
And I'm at the start of season 3, so the last series, a whole coach of people pulled up, and all the
right.
residents and this family that were there were kind of like, oh shit, because
So you
obviously
can
they've
get
got
in there, but you can't get out.
no get out now, and they've got no resources apart from what they
Right,
grow.
right.
Yeah, so it's kind of a bit Walking Deady kind of thing.
Yeah,
Meets the film Signs. It's good, but I'm like, I
yeah.
hope they don't ruin it.
What? Where do you watch that?
It's on Sky.
Oh, it's on Sky. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'll have a
Or
look out for that.
Atlantic or Sci-Fi.
Yeah.
I suppose
Okay.
they maybe.
And we somehow managed to make an hour.
Yeah, we didn't even finish talking about first chapters.
Are we going to continue it then? Instead of talking
Um,
about what you're watching these days. That's not the podcast.
the other last one was what should the first chapter accomplish?
Right. Do you know what you're doing here? You're saying the same thing in different ways.
These are just
So
those
the
now.
answer is the same every time.
Yeah. So we've
Go
already
on.
answered
What
that
should
one.
it
No,
accomplish?
we've answered that one. There you go. We've done the first chapter.
What should it accomplish?
Introducing everything we've talked about. These are just the notes I made.
But every single question that you said is just a different way of asking the same question that's going to come out with the same answer. This fucking podcast could have been 10 minutes long.
That's why we filmed it with TV shows and writing conferences.
I'm going to apologise to all the listeners and viewers if you're watching on YouTube for the 40 minutes you've just wasted because Rachel's question was the same question in different ways. So I'm not answering the last one because I have.
I think you should do the next one then.
You think I should what?
I think you should do the plan for the next one.
Right, I will.
I'm a woman and we have to repeat ourselves until you get the message.
What's the next one?
I can't remember.
Oh no,
now.
I'm doing it, aren't I? Right, I will then. Fine. I'll think of things. I'll have the little cheat show asking fucking cheat sheet, asking the same question in different ways 5 times,
Yeah.
and just sit back. Oh, fine. Yeah, right. Episode 18 is not named yet. I'm going to figure it out and come back to you. Oh dear. So how's your marketing and TikToking and Facebooks and all the ads and stuff? How's all that getting on?
It's alright. My Facebook ads are doing a bit crap at the moment, but I'm reading that everyone's have gone shit. I don't know if this is because we've got the big Amazon boycott going on.
No.
But I've got some really good ideas from the conference about TikToks.
Brilliant. Yeah, that's good. My
So,
TikToks, I'm still on them. That's all the marketing. I'm not. I need to start moving on to the words up. I need to start moving on to Instagram. I don't really know how to work it, so it's going to be a bit of a learning curve. For instance, like we had a message from someone from the indie author, a listener, on our Instagram, and I've gone on it and I can't figure out where the messages are kept on it.
there's a
I'm
little
that
arrow
much.
in the top right-hand corner, and if you click that, and then if it's in a message request, there's like 3 tabs, and you click the last one on the right.
Oh, whatever. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know how to
I'm
do
gonna,
those things yet.
I'm gonna look. Is it on
But
ours?
because it'll come up on because it's obviously linked to the Facebook,
Yeah.
Instagram, and it'll say you've got this message, blah blah blah, and when I click on it, I just can't see anything on the on our Instagram page. But as I was saying, I'm TikTok's going great. I'm doing my 3 week, 3 a day even. I got a 24,000 view one yesterday, so that took off nicely. Lots of new readers and stuff, and that kind of like brought all my other ones up with it. So I reached about 50,000 people yesterday, which is lovely.
Right,
And
so
I need to do.
our message is this, that we've got some woman going, I'd be delighted to feature you on Instagram page, so I'm going to delete it as spam because that's essentially what it is.
Oh right, is it one of them?
Yeah.
Oh no, forget it
So
then.
you don't need to go and look for it because I've deleted it.
Yeah. Yeah, so my TikTok's doing well, but I need to I need to start cross promoting to YouTube Shorts and to Insta. That's what I'm going to do this week. Start, but not the ones that I've just posted because I believe that doesn't work very well. You need to get your old ones and kind of rotate something. You shouldn't post the same one on all the different.
Really? I didn't know that one.
You told me that ages ago.
No, I didn't.
I'm sure you did.
It wasn't me.
No, all right.
I was
I
talking to
apologise.
your I was talking to your TikTok buddy, Joy, at Ireland.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, she's very nice.
all right.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, she's giggling about you.
Yeah, haven't spoken to her in a few days. Her posts always come up.
Yeah. She's probably
She is one to shut like because some people are like, oh, I don't have any ideas for TikToks and stuff. This
she
one
was showing
author,
us how to search.
no, but she does the same. She's got the same text all the time, and it's
Yeah.
just about reaching people and reaching people and reach. It doesn't have to be different all the time.
Yeah.
Otherwise, so you don't have to stress yourself out with that as much. I
She
guess.
was showing us how to search for trending songs and things like that and stuff to
Yeah, I
use.
just nick hers. I just nick
That's
hers.
what she said, yeah.
Yeah,
So her liver might have dried out as well now
yeah. Uh,
because she was
it's
also
been
pregnant.
it's been lovely chatting to you about Ireland. I wish I was. I really wish. Your first chapters. Uh, yeah,
I'm looking
I
forward
wish I
to
was
it.
back in Ireland. Do you know what I love? First chapters aside, I love when you sit in a pub in Ireland. Well, you won't because you're in. You're a captive audience, but just a pub, and then someone just pulls out a fiddle and starts fiddling away. And then and some old guy will just come over and he just happens to have a flute in a little Irish flute in his pocket. And before you know it, you've got like a little jam session going. You only went in for a pint and you've got like 5 people. It's brilliant. It's brilliant.
We
Yeah.
had one night where our music was the sound of smashing glass. I swear, I've never heard so many glasses smashing behind the bar. It was like every 5 minutes. Steve Higgs turned round and said, I've had less smashed glass when I've been in a bar fight. I don't
Yeah.
know who they'd employed behind the bar, but it was as if every time they took the tray out the glass washer that they dropped it.
Do you know what that is? That's these people working behind the bar that are used to the odd person sauntering in. They work at a hotel. The odd
Not used.
person sauntering in. There's more than 5 people in the bar. They're shitting themselves. They're like, oh my
Yeah,
god, I have to. Even though they don't have to go any quicker because customers will wait
yeah,
because they're thirsty. That's why they're there. These people will be panicking and just throwing things everywhere.
yeah.
That's
But it was, and it was. I think it's an English thing to do where we cheer when someone drops a glass.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we got sick of doing it. We're
Did
like,
you?
for God's
It
sake.
was happening. It was happening that often, right?
Yeah, I'm
By
like,
the
well,
end of it,
yeah. Ask
yeah.
Adam. He'll tell you. He was just like, smash, smash. For God's sake.
Yeah. By 10:15, it's yay!
Yeah,
Come on, you should have
yeah,
them all in now. Last orders was half an hour ago.
yeah. And we've
Yeah.
had some people say they'd come on the show. I think we can get Adam to come on. Joy will probably come on.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure Adam will come on.
Yeah,
If he said no, I go why?
yeah,
Yeah. Uh, yeah, we'll have to have a chat about that. Maybe introducing a few guests and stuff, and what role they'll play within the waffle.
yeah.
Yeah, cool. And that will be another time though, because I need to put more wood on my fire now. I've nearly finished now. You don't care. I'm not going to go into it. It's dead boring. My missus as well. I tell her about burning my wood in my back garden. She's not interested either. You're all dickheads. I'm going now. Thank you for listening, everyone. Bye.
Don't forget to subscribe to everything.
Don't forget to subscribe to everything. It's been lovely. Nice little catch up. And I'll see you next week.
Right, goodbye.